Now come to the most interesting and in my favorite portion. We are coming to the variables now. Understand? So very important if you know how to use it, but don't overuse it, because I'll tell you, when you overuse it, 100% you're going to make it mistake as well. So don't overuse it. Just use it properly. Okay. Variables. Let's come to that variables. Okay. First of all, why we use variables? Understand? There are three prime reasons for using your variables. If somebody asks why we even consider variables in DAX, so far we have not used, but why we actually consider them. Understand? First important reason, variables make your code look systematic. Means anybody who is reading your code, they will able to understand what you have written. Okay, very much like variables in your as the languages C, C++, and everything. Okay, there you create a variables to store the values, right? With the help of which you can store the values in a system or in a memory, right? So they make your code look systematic. First, very important. Second, variables, make it capital, variables may improve the performance of your query, improve the performance. I'll show you how to improve how we can improve the performance. Means if you are using variables in some cases, they will give you faster results. Performance means faster results. Faster results means quickly your visuals will be populated in your report. And third, with help of variables, you can quickly debug your code. Okay, you can quickly debug your code. This is the biggest power, which I love because of this only. Or if you ask me personally, I love because of this, because it can easily help you to debug your code. Very easily, you can debug your code. And what variables can store? Variable can store everything. Variables can store, not everything is I tend to what can store. They can store a constant. Okay. They can store a table expression. They can store any other expression resulting in scalar value. Okay, so whatever you want to store, constant, table expression, scalar expression, suppose you want to store a formula, right? Like something. Yes, your variables can store. You want to store a table in a variable, yes, it can store. You want to store a constant, yes, it can store. So anything it can be assigned. Anything it can be assigned. And how do we create variables? Let's come to that. Okay, so I'm just mentioning here example variable. The name is giving variable. Just for such testing purpose, equals to. Put equals to, okay, whatever measure you want to write, or whatever table you want to create, or whatever calculated columns you want to create, just type your name, whatever name you want to give. I'm just giving the random name variable, right? You can give any name here. For example, testing variables. Okay, testing variables equals to. You can start writing from this line, but I'll advise you go to the next line, shift and enter. Okay, and use a word var first to tell it's a variable. var. Okay, and that is case insensitive, so you can type a small var also, but no problem. But what professionals follow, they type capital var, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so always follow a practice that professionals follow. So var. After that, you have to give your variable name. What are allowed? Understand? You can use alphabets, you can use numbers, and you could use a special character underscore. I repeat once again, you can store you can have in a variable name numbers, you can have your alphabets, and you can have what one special character known as underscore, right? But remember, your variable name cannot start with a number. If I try to do this, see, I'll see and immediately get an error. I told you what we can have. We can have something like numbers. Okay, we can have alphabets. Okay, we can have only one special character underscore in the variable name, but don't start your whatever I'm writing is a comment right now. Can you see, right? Don't start your variable with number. Just keep that in mind. You'll immediately get an idea. Whenever you are typing something wrong, it will throw you an error. Red line symbol will be available. So you can understand, okay, there is some mistake. Unexpected expression one. Okay. I can use underscore allowed. See. But if I try to use suppose at the rate, error. I try to use hash, error. I try to use ampersand, this symbol, error. I use percentage symbol, error. Okay. I used to use this symbol, error. I used to use this star, error. Okay. So proper name giving is very, very, very important. Understand that. Okay. So what we are going to do, suppose I'm creating a variable, first of all, a. And suppose assigning it a value 10. Any value you can assign. First variable, a equals to 10. So I'm storing a constant for now. Shift enter. Second variable I'm going to create, variable b. Always write in a systematic manner. I'll advise you whenever you're writing variables, proper use of that. Equals to 20. Okay. So this variable has been declared. This variable has been declared. Once the variable has been declared, you can use it in the further expression. Example, I'm coming here. I'm going to type variable c equals to nothing but variable a. So I'm going to type a. As we have typed a suggestion will come. And it is x means it's a variable itself. Okay. So a plus b. Okay. A plus b. See again, it's indicating a variable. So once you have declared a variable, ensure that you have to use one return statement. At least one return statement you have to use. And normally we use one only, right? Press return. So whenever you are using, ensure to use one return statement. Normally we use it at the last. Once you are done with the declaring the variables, okay? So you're done. So now you use a return statement. In a return statement, what value you want for this testing variable means the name you have given this measure, the measure name you have given testing variables, what value you want, it's your choice. Not mandatory that you have to use the output of the variables. It's your choice. For example, I mentioned hello. It's my choice, right? I don't want to use any variable. Okay. So this expression, this testing variable will give me hello. Let me execute this. Done. Close it. And let me come to a new page. Bring my card visual. And where we created, actually, I forgot. Testing. I created in the wrong table. Let me create. Let me come to time intelligence methods. Yeah, location changed. Good, gone. And let me bring testing variable. So I get hello. Okay. Whatever I return, that will be coming here. Now you see, I don't need hello. I was just giving an example. Whatever I means not mandatory that I've declared the variable. So I have to return the variables only. No, it's my choice. Whatever I want to return, I can return. Okay. Now see, normally we don't do this. Just I've given an example. Okay. Now suppose I want to get the value of C. A is taken, B is taken. I want to take the value of C. So I have to just type C. The recommendation will come. No issue. Execute this. And what will be C? You can guess. A is 10, B is 20. C will be nothing but 10 plus 20. 30. That will be, yeah, 30. Let me execute this. And see the result here, everyone. Right? And the best part is, suppose this result is not coming good. Not as per a required. Just we have taken just some very small examples here. A equals to 10, B is equal to 20. So we can directly read it. But suppose this is a complex expression resulting something. This is a complex expression resulting something. And this is your final result. Now I want to check, okay, my result is not coming proper. There is a problem. What should I do now? What should I do now? So now what I can do, I can test it. I can quickly debug. My result is not coming fine. My C is not coming fine. So my C is nothing but A plus B. So let me check what is A. So I can just type here A, the variable name, and it will give me the result corresponding to A. What is A? So A is 10. So now if you're satisfied, okay, my first variable, whatever I have used, right, that is giving me correct result. That means at least I'm sure that my first line is done. There is no problem in this line. If I'm sure, right? Now first line is done. Let me check. Error result was coming. So there may be now A is correct. There may be problem in the line B. So I can quickly come here. I can type B here. Okay. And execute. Right? So now B is fine. That means I can sure, okay, whatever result I'm getting, my A is correct, my B is correct. So now at least I can identify every step individual that I will write here. I can check here. I can quickly debug here. These are the very simple expression that we have written here, but actually there may be complex measures that you may be using. Any measure that you may be using. Any measure, right? Example, I want to say here sum of, okay, sales or revenue, total revenue. I can do this, yes, like this, allowed, right? And whatever I want to say, whatever the sum of total revenue is there, I want to add 20 to that, okay? And want to return final result like this. Execute this. Okay, 155 million it is coming. You are not sure it is right or wrong. So let me verify. First of all, I will type A here. Execute this. Okay, whatever actually is taking a smaller value, I think it is rounding off. Let me take it to 2 digits. Yeah, now it is coming fine. Okay, something like that. So you can quickly see, okay, A is what? If A is correct, okay, now A is fine. Now let me check what is B. Then you can check what is C. So easily you can check any steps result. So now your debugging will be very, very, very easy. Fine, everyone? Please tell me.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So your debugging will be very easy. You can see, and that's why you, if you have a writing some complex expression, break them into the variables. That will be easy. But if you are making a simple expression, don't use it unnecessarily. I'll show you why. You will do the mistakes. I'll tell you. Don't worry. Okay. So this thing now, fine. This is fine so far. So I use 10. But now issue comes. How can I declare variables? Even variable can be declared inside a variable as well. Okay, variable can be declared inside the variable as well. Okay, so if I come here, instead of 10, what I did, I press shift and enter. Although I can type in continuation, but what I prefer, I come here so that I can come to know. I'm going to type one more variable, y. Suppose name is d equals to 10, right? Variable a is equal to variable 10. Done. Then because I have used variable, so scope of the variable which I have declared inside the variable will be only inside the variable a only. Remember that the scope of this variable will be inside the variable a only. Similarly, this variable that we have declared a, b, and c will be local to this measure only. Right? If you have declared variable here, you think, okay, I will use in another measure. No, it is not possible. These are local variables. These are local variables, so the scope will be limited to this only. So I have declared this variable inside this variable. So scope of this variable will be inside this A only. I'll show you that. And as I've used a variable here, so I have to use what? A return statement. Return D. Okay. Now what A will take? Whatever it will return. What this A will take? Whatever it will return. What it will return? D. I can take multiple variables here as well. For example, I take one more variable where D equal to suppose 5. And I can return D plus E. Right? So within a scope, you need one return statement, at least one return statement. So it will return D plus E. So whatever it will return, that will become the value of A. Is it okay, everyone? Please tell me.
Yes, yes.
Right? So now see, if I try to do this thing, so far everything is good. Let me execute C. So what result I should get, everyone? A will become what? 15, right?
Yes.
B is 20. So it should return 35. Let me execute this. Okay, it has been done. Let me drag it down. Can you see 35? But now see, suppose I try to add this D and E here. Let me see what happens. Can you see? I'm immediately getting an error. When I am hovering over it, is showing cannot find name D. Can you see?
Yes.
Because its scope is
Open.
limited to this variable only, A. Within A, it is limited to. Even I type E, it is limited to this only. Is it okay so far, everyone? Please tell me.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Right? Now come ahead. where you will do the mistakes. Let's come to those steps. 100% you're going to do the mistakes, but I'll come to that later on. So first thing is clear. How can we debug our code, right? Each individual step we can check in the return statement. What I'm getting. Even you can here itself, you can check what A is returning and something like that, right? You can do that. But how it is useful? Let me come to a table. Let's come to my sales table, okay? And I want to show you something. Close it. Close it. I told you it may improve the performance, right? So debugging, we have seen how can we debug the code quickly. Let's come how it can be helpful in performance, improving the performance. Okay. So suppose in my sales table, come here, quick minimize, and where it is, sales. Okay. I have two columns, unit price and total unit cost, right? Two columns, unit price and unit cost. What I want to check, understand, is the difference between unit price and unit cost is greater than 500. If it is greater than 500, I want to see their difference. I want to see their difference as a new column. Okay. Otherwise, I don't want to see. Understand my requirement. I want to check the difference between unit price and unit cost. Okay. Unit this and this for every row. I want to check this minus this. If it is greater than 500, please show me the difference in a new column. Otherwise, don't show me anything, means keep blank. Because it may be your requirement that you are checking if the difference is suppose greater than 500. I want to give them discount. I want to give them discount, but my products are not getting sold. So there is a difference between unit price and unit cost is 500. That means I can give them some discount. Still, I will be in profit only. So you may want such scenarios. Okay. So you want to calculate that. So how will I do that? I'll come here. I'll create a new column. Okay. I'm going to say just test equals to if what unit price minus unit cost is greater than 500, then I want to see the same thing. What this? Okay, same thing. If it is greater than 500, then I want to see the difference. Otherwise, I don't want to see anything. So if I don't specify anything, it will take blank. If you want to specify, you can specify blank. It's your choice. Right? Now see how variable can be helpful. Remember, in a context, variable is evaluated only once. Very, very important point. Remember that. In a context, that's very, very important thing. In a context, variable is evaluated only once. And once it is evaluated, understand, you can, after evaluation, you can treat the variable as a constant. Right? So in a context, a variable is evaluated only once. Remember that, only once. And after evaluation, you can treat the variable as a constant. That's very, very important line that I mentioned. In a context, a variable is evaluated only once, and after evaluation, you can treat the variable as a constant. That's it. Means it will have a constant value. Now see what will happen in this case. If we see this expression, first of all, this expression will be evaluated. Right? First of all, this expression, let me execute this even so that I can see the results. Okay, I'm getting some result. Okay, so how it will work? First of all, this expression will be evaluated. Okay, in a context, suppose for first row, that's first this will be evaluated. Then it will check for the condition. Is it greater than 500? If it is that, then this expression, which is the same expression, it will be once again evaluated, and then its value will be put it here. If this condition gets true, only then I'm saying, if this condition gets true, then this expression will be recalculated and placed here. So if this condition is true, how many times this expression is going to be evaluated, everyone? This one. How many times it is going to evaluate it? Means this is and this are the same thing, na? One and the same thing. So how many times, if this condition is satisfying overall, how many times this expression is going to be evaluated? One, before checking this comparison, right?
Yes.
One before checking this comparison. Second, if this condition becomes satisfied, then again this
Yes,
expression will
second
be
time.
evaluated. So how many times were you evaluating it? Two
Two
times.
times.
Right, everyone? Please tell me so far. Please tell me, is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Others, please at least say
Yes.
something. Yes, right. Now see, I can solve this problem with the help of variables. Let me create a new column. Okay, I'm going to say test with variable equals to, I'm going to say C, variable, whatever name I want to give. Suppose I'm going to say difference, diff, equals to what? What we mentioned, remember everyone? Anyone recall? Sales. Which column it was? I think it
Unit
was
price
unit price. Sales
minus
unit
total
price.
unit cost.
Price unit price minus
Total unit cost.
unit cost. Where it is total unit cost, right? I created in a variable. I created inside a variable, right? Done. Now I'm gonna say I create one more variable where, although not mandatory that I create one more variable, but I'm creating, I'll tell you, result equals to. Now if in this, I'm gonna say if, what I want to put here, this condition. So I'm gonna directly, instead of putting the condition, I'm gonna mention if diff is greater than 500, then return me diff, else blank.
Blank.
Now tell me everyone, in one particular context, how many times, so first of all, what will happen? This variable will be evaluated, right? The moment I will execute the instruction, this executes sequentially, understand? So the moment I will execute this, first of all, this is lying first. So first of all, this expression will be evaluated for this particular row. And once evaluated, this value will become what? Constant. I told you, right?
Yes.
This will become constant. So that constant will be picked and put here and checked whether this condition is satisfied or not. It will not be reevaluated again. It will just take that constant value, check here, check. If this condition is satisfied, again check, take that constant value which has already been evaluated and put here. So now evaluation will only happen when this variable will be evaluated. That is only once. Second time this expression is not going to be evaluated. Directly this diff will be used here. Directly this diff will be used here. Now I can type this way. Return. What? What I want to return, tell me everyone. Diff or result?
Diff.
No, what we want here?
We need result.
Result.
We need
Yes.
result. We need result. So let me execute this. Okay, and check the result. Both will be 100% identical, whatever you are seeing here. Just observe. Just that it is faster in comparison to your this expression. It is faster in comparison to this expression because this expression is going to be evaluated 2 times. Okay, but this expression is going to be either going to be evaluated 2 times whenever condition is satisfied. First, before checking the condition, second, after checking the condition. But in this case, it will be evaluated only and only one time, at the beginning time only. Once you will execute this expression, it will go to the first row, and for first row, it will calculate this expression. And after that, it will become a constant. That is this value, 863.764. Now it will be checked. 863 greater than 500. Show me 863,500. Means it is a constant. That's it. So it will not be evaluated once again. Hence, your performance will be increased. Fine, everyone.
Yes, sir.
Right? So please, that's why I say it improves the performance. So check your code. It will not always improve the performance, but please check. In certain scenarios, it may be possible where your same expression is evaluated again and again and again and again. In those scenarios, variables will help you. It's not guaranteed that always variable will be faster. No, I repeat once again. Okay, it's not that, but in certain scenarios, like the scenario that we just discussed, right? In this scenario, this is going to give you faster performance. Where the expressions are not repeated, then your performance will be equal. Just that your code will be systematic. And second thing, you will be easily able to debug code. Performance will be increased only when your expressions are reevaluated again and again and again and again. That you can take the help of variables. Fine, everyone, please tell me. Okay, and I've created a variable here result, but not mandatory I create the variable result here. Okay, I can comment this like this, gone. Okay, or I can put double dash this way. Both are the comment only. Okay, or you want multi-line comment, you can do this as well. Star, and you can put star line. One and the same thing. Okay, so different ways you can put the comment. So I'm gonna put the comment. I prefer this way, but your choice. This way. Done. One line comment, it done. I can directly specify in the return statement without creating the variable. This is a comment now, right? I can directly specify this like this. Like expression, directly the expression I can specify. But if you ask me personally, I prefer the first way that I told you. But I'm telling you because in some cases, when you are studying the net in the future, 100% you will be referring. You may find this way. So don't get confused. Okay, you can type your expression directly here and I can execute it. I'll get the same result. No problem with that. See, result are 100% same. Right? So whatever expression you want to return, you can just type here. Not mandatory. You have to return the result of variable. No, not mandatory. But if you ask me personally, I prefer this, the first one that I did. But you should know, yes, options are there. Because you may be seeing result several times, you will be seeing the code of the other people on the net, then don't get confused. Yes, what is the option there? Right? Now again, overuse of a variable may be dangerous. I'll show you why. The overuse of variable may be dangerous for you. How come? Let me come here. Let me delete this. Now let it be, because I will share this file with you so that you can compare. So let me come here and let it be here. Let me drag in a table. Sorry, Control Z. Let me bring a table. And in this table, let me bring, suppose, where is my date table? This is my date table. And in date table, let me bring my total sales. Total sales, this one. Fine. And now see, I want to create a measure of same period last year. Okay, I want to create any measure I want to create, but I want to show you the simple thing. I want to create a measure of same period last year. Okay, so I'm going to come here, time intelligence. I'm going to say new measure. Okay, I'm going to say same period last year variable was equals to. See, I create a variable. Okay, variable. Suppose sale equals to total sales. Okay, like this. Variable equal to total sales, or I can do these things. Variable equal to sum of total revenue of my sales column. It's my choice, whatever I want to do. I did that, right? When I come here, I would declare one more variable, result equals to. Oh, sorry, I forgot to close the bracket. Yeah, variable result equals to calculate. Okay, and what I need here, I need to calculate same period last year. So I need sale, right? Same SAL, same expression, this expression that we have been using. Okay, sale. Or if you want to use that your measure, you can type your measure as well. For example, I type my measure. It's my choice, so that you don't get confused. That okay, and I just type my cell here. Just say total sales I want to calculate. But how? Same period last year and my date column. It needs dates, so I can pass in my date column. Okay, done. Shift and enter. I'm typing return. One more bracket is required here. Yeah, close return. Shift and enter result. Okay, this is I want. But if you understand logically, it will going to give me wrong result. All the expression is fine. Sale, same period last year. Okay, 100% expression is right, but you're going to get wrong result. Let me execute this. Okay, and let me close it. Same period last year. Where? Yeah, this is one. Let me bring it. Can you see what result I'm getting, everyone? Is it the same? I'm getting the even same date sales. Can you observe? This is not the same period last year. No? My expression is 100% right.
Hmm.
Right? 100% expression is right, but I'm not getting the same result. I'm getting the total sales. I
Yes.
told you, na, don't overuse variable. It will make your life hell. If you overuse, or if you don't understand, use variables properly. If you understand your variables properly, everything is going to be correct. But logically, everything seems perfect to me. There should be no problem. The problem is its understanding of the variables and how the calculate works. This is the problem. Only is. Result is wrong. Yes, 100% result is wrong. The reason is, come here. The moment I will drag it in this context, first of all, which expression will be calculated, everyone? It executes sequentially now. So first of all, which will calculate, result or cell?
Calculate.
Everyone, please tell me. If I drag it, which expression will be calculated first?
Result.
Again, you are doing mistake. Everyone, please tell me. I told you it executes sequentially, na?
Cell.
Yes, it executes sequentially. So
Cell.
first of all, which is written? Cell.
Cell.
Right? So first of all, total sales will be calculated. For what? Whatever your current context is. And what is your current context? Current context is 14 August. So you will get 14 August sales. That is 1084660 in where? In my this expression. Right? So this is nothing but your what? Your total sales for current context.
Okay.
Right? And after calculation, it will become what? Constant for this context. So whatever value is, for example, 148 something is there. I don't know. What's the value? 10846646630. Okay. This is the value. This is the value. No? Let me come here. We were here now, right? Yes.
Evaluate only one times.
It will become this, right? Everyone? 1084666.39. Now when second expression will come, so then result will come. So now remember how calculate works. Calculate actually works. First of all, this context will be evaluated, whatever you have written in the filter expression. And for that, whatever context you have created with the help of calculate, for that actually your salary, this expression is evaluated. So first of all, this is evaluated. Remember now. First of all, this filter expression is evaluated, and for that, whatever context is available now for that this expression is getting evaluated. It should be evaluated. Okay. So okay, it will come here. It will change the context, but unfortunately, this will not be evaluated once again because variable cell has already been evaluated and its value is what? 108466. And I told you in one context, your variable will be evaluated only once, right? So what value you are going to get? 108466 for your result. So that's why you are seeing the same result here. The moment I'll enter into the second row, so expression will be evaluated for current context once again. 15 August. So first of all, cell variable that we have created will be evaluated. What is that? Total sales. So what will be total sales? 229455. So that will become constant now. So in even calculate, it is not going to change. It will give you the same result. Doesn't matter what you specify here. Doesn't matter because this expression has already been evaluated by what? Variable. Fine, everyone. Please tell me. Getting the logic why I'm getting the result wrong? Okay.
Yes,
and honestly speaking, in this case, it was not required to create variable. Why don't you directly specify total? It is a simple expression, no?
Yeah.
Very simple expression. Why you are even using it? Overuse is dangerous, but don't worry. We can solve this problem. We can solve this problem. Even with the help of variable, we can solve it. Okay. So ensure that calculation that you are mentioning should happen inside the calculate. Then there is no problem. Actually, problem is that is happening before the calculate. If you're ensuring that it happens in the calculate, then there is no problem. And I told you, you can declare variable inside a variable. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this. Control X. Before this, okay. I'm going to delete it. I'm going to press Shift Enter. Okay. And here I'm going to paste my variable, this total sales. Shift Enter. Again, Shift Enter. So inside calculate, my first place, I will mention that variable sale equal total sales, and then I'm going to say return SAL. Now there will be no problem. Your result will be 100% perfect. Because now what will happen? We are inside the calculator. So first, this will be evaluated. What is the context? So you will go back same period last year. So instead of 14 August 2019, you will be seeing 13 August 2019. Now you are saying, okay, whatever is written in expression, give me that. So what is written in the expression? First of all, variable sale equal to total sales. What you are returning actually, that value you will get. What you are returning? Sell. So now the cell will be evaluated. What is that? Total sales. So this total sales will be evaluated right now for whatever same period last year is returning. That is for 14 August 2018. Now your result will be 100% okay if I execute this. Okay, and now check it. It has gone because we don't have sales for 14 August 2018. 14 August, 15 August 2018, we don't have anything. So we will be seeing result from 14 August 2020. Because same period last year we are talking now. Same period last year we are talking. So go back. You will be seeing results see from 14 August 2020. Because same period last year of 14 August 2020 is what? 14 August 2019. And that's why you're getting the results correctly. Is it fine, everyone? Please tell me.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So don't overuse variable. If you are using at all, then you should understand the context. Otherwise, you will do a blunder. You will do a blunder. And that's actually because of these reasons, people are scared of using variables. But this is, if you understand the concept, how variable works, it is very easy. It is very, very helpful. It is very helpful. Right? Now let's take one more challenge. Let's come here to my any table. Suppose, let me close it. Let me come to my products table. Okay. Here. And let me bring here total sales. I want to show you something. Okay. A nested row context, which many people don't know. Oh, sorry, I picked the wrong place. I want to go to the products once again. Yeah, new column rather. Okay, I'm gonna say, suppose this column name is sales or total sales, whatever you want to call it, is your choice. Sales or yes, let me total sales equals to. I can directly mention my measure because measure have implicit calculate with them, so I can directly pass total sales. No issue. I'll get the result correctly. In front of every product, I will be seeing their total sales. Fine. Done. Now suppose you will sometime you will have this kind of data where you have product names available and there are some values available, and your boss says, oh, in front of these, I want to show their rank. Okay, in front of these, I want to see, okay, rank X we have done, that's fine, perfectly fine. But he's saying that in calculated column only, please show me the rank. You have sales available here. Okay, here only come here and show me the rank. What is available? What is the rank which is available here? Right? So how can we do that? How can we do that? How can we compare the ranking here? How can we compare? Sorry. Let me tell you. Don't worry. Let me tell you. Now, actually, the concept will be different. Okay, let's come here. Home. And oh, sorry, my mistake. Where is the table tools? New column. Okay, I'm going to say ranking or ranks, whatever you want to call it. Ranks equals to see properly. What I want to do first of all, because we are in calculate columns, of course, we have a row context, right, everyone? We're in calculate columns. So what we have a row context, right or wrong? Please tell me. This is clear. We are in calculate columns.
Yes, sir.
So we have a row context available. So what I want to fetch actually, first of all, I want to fetch the sales of current product. Sales of current product. Okay. Whenever I will execute this expression, so I'll come here. I want to first of all fetch the sales of this. So how can I fetch? I will type here where. Okay. Current underscore sales. Current underscore sales equals to what column it is? Sales column. your product in the products, it has a sales column, products, sales column, right? So it will work in the row context. So when I will execute this in the first time, what will happen? This variable current sales will take this value 2548.2991. Okay, first, immediately it will take this value. So we'll consider for one row, automatically that will work for the other row. Okay, come here, press enter again, create a new variable. Okay, now see, I'm going to say number of products, number, or simple, suppose I'm getting products with high price equals to, see what I'm going to say. I'm going to say filter my product table, this table, complete table, such that filter my products table such that the sales, product sales should be greater than, product sales should be greater than what? This price. Understand everyone? That's what I'm going to say. Okay, I'm going to say, give me those rows of the product table whose price, whose the sales, sorry, whose sales is more than the sales of the current row. Is it fine, everyone? What I'm going to say? I'm going to say simple, filter this product table and give me only those rows of the product table where the sales amount, this sales amount is greater than the sales amount of the current row. Okay, and sales amount of the current row we have already fetched by what? Remember? Current sales. So mention here current sales. And why I'm doing this? See, now here we have two context. We have nested row context here. Why? First row context because of what? Calculated column. And second row context of what? Because of this filter. Filter works in a iterating fashion. Remember? Filter checks how the filter works. Filter go to the every row of the product and check whether this expression is true or not. So how many contexts are there? There are two row contexts. This is outer row context that we are talking about, right? And this is inner row context. You may put one filter more inside here in the instead of products. It will become one more row context. So it will become nested row context and context. So right now it is a two row context available here. One, the outer row context under which this will be evaluated. And this is inner row context in which this expression will be evaluated. But we are taking the help of catching the outer context. How? With the help of variables. We know that the moment I will execute this expression. So first of all, this expression will be evaluated, first line. So it will fetch the first value, that is 25489, and that will become the value of current sales, right? Please tell me for the first row. Right, everyone, or not? Please tell me.
Yes.
Right? First it will be now moving ahead. So it has become constant now. It has become constant now for this row. Now move ahead. Now it is saying, okay, next variable is saying, do one thing, take complete product table and check. It will take complete product table, right? It will take complete product table. And for every product table, it will check that the corresponding sales amount is greater than the sales amount of this row. If that is the case, give me those rows. Give me only those rows whose means out of this complete product table, give me only those rows whose sales amount is greater than the sales amount of this. This what this function is doing so far. Okay, this current sales you will get from outer row context, and this product sales that you will be getting from the inner row context. And this inner row context has been generated by what? This filter function. And because we have taken the help of variable, this outer row context has become constant. So we don't have to worry. So all this value, all the values like this, every value, even this one will be compared with this value, same value, this one with this. It is not. Remember what condition we have put it? Greater than. So the condition will fail, condition will fail, condition will fail. Wherever it is greater than this, here condition will fail, condition fail, condition fail, condition fail, condition fail. Here condition satisfied, right? Can you observe? Here the condition is satisfied because it is greater than this amount. So it will return one row. Can you observe? It will return one row. One row is done. Next, Anywhere else condition is not satisfied. So what this filter will return? Filter will return out of this product table only one row corresponding to product 7. Corresponding to product 7, it is going to return one row, only one row. Now what I'm going to say, understand. So far done. I'm going to create one more variable. I'm going to say rank. And what rank is? It is going to return, I know that, oh, sorry, rank is the same name, ranking. Okay. Equals to, I know it is going to return me only those rows which are greater than the current product sales, right? So I'm going to say here, just count me, just tell me how many are those. So count rows or whatever result this is returning. What is that? Product high price. Products of high price, right? Everyone, please tell me. Fine so far. So can you tell me how many products are there above this? We just calculated it. How many products are above this? We just calculated, no? Only one. Only one. So what it is going to return?
One.
Only one. But it should be at number 2 now. Right or wrong? If one is greater than this, then it should be at number 2. Then add +1 here. Right? Right or wrong? Because there is already one product above this, right? So it should be number 2. So please make it +1. Now done. Press shift and enter. And now you can type return ranking.
Ranking.
And execute this. Check everyone. Its rank was supposed to come to 2, right? And its rank was supposed to come to 1. And same process will repeat it with everything. It will come to the second row. Now for second row, your current sales will become what? 228, right? 228. Understand, very simple logic. When this expression will come to the second row, right? So initially, when it executed in first row, only 2 has been given here. Only 2 has been given here. Now it will move ahead. It will come to this row. So your current sales will become what? 2284. So now condition will be checked. Tell in overall how many rows are there which are above this. So you will find it out how? Only 2, right? 228 is this. Check man. 1 is this 257. 1 is 254. So count rows will give me 2. 2 rows are above this. 2 rows are above this. So its rank should be what? 2 plus 1. Right, everyone? 2
Yes.
plus 1. So rank will be 3. And now I hope you get an idea. Please tell me. Now suppose this one is coming. This one is coming. So what will be the current sales for this row? This will be 257,101,24.1. Now this expression will come. Now every row's result will be compared with this. There is none. There is nothing above than this. Those count rows will return what? 0. 0 plus 1 will become what? 1. Right? And that's why you are getting the rank 1. Tell me everyone, is it fine?
Yes.
Right? Get an idea what is nested row context, and it is very powerful. Honestly speaking, you will be using it in complex scenarios. You will be giving a single table. Okay, this is the sales. Now rank this. Which is my top, which is my bottom, which is my this. And you may be having 1,000 rows, 2,000 rows, 3,000 rows, 4,000 rows, and so on. Right? But same thing you can achieve it one other way. Actually, there's a function known as normally. I think in future that will not be continued because those people who use variables, they don't use earlier function. But earlier function gives us power to get the outer context. Because this current sales is also giving me outer context, right? Because of variable only, that will also give you the power. So let me create here a new column once again. Okay, and same thing I'm going to say. Suppose ranks is so ranks 1, and directly I can create without even creating the variables. Filter. I'll put the count rows later on. Filter. What? My products table such that my sales amount should be greater than now this time because we have not used variable. Now I can use my earlier function. Earlier, right? And what earlier is, see, return the value in the column prior to the specified number of table scales. Default is 1, means you have to specify first of all which column you want. So I want which column values? Sales only, right? And how many outer context you want to go? Here we have only two row context. One because we are in calculated column, and second one because of this filter. Okay, so if you don't specify even, it is taking one. So it will go, if you have two contexts, one is outer, one inner, it will go to the outer only directly if you specify one. If you don't specify one, it by default stick to the one. Can you see? So it is going to go to the outer row context. But suppose within a filter, you have one more filter. So now three contexts will be becoming. And you want to go to the outermost, then you can specify two here. Okay, so it gives you the power to go to any context that you want to go. Okay, so if I close this, it is going to give me the rows, right? Means the rows of the product table, which are above than the current sales. I should put count rows here in one expression directly I'm doing. Okay, and after that, last one, we needed +1. Execute this. And same result you're gonna get. Exactly same result. Right? So this earlier, normally people don't use it because those who use variables, they don't go with the earlier, but yes, earlier you can use as well. Earlier you can use as well to go to the earlier or outer context. Whenever we have a nested row context available, you can take the help of earlier function, or you can take the help of variables as well. Is it fine, everyone? Please tell me.
Yes.
Okay, so please do practice variables. Variables are very important. I'll take one more class that will be on Monday, right? And hopefully in Monday, everything will be done. Okay, so we'll be ending on Monday. If anything remains at all, then let's see. I will try to finish on Monday. Okay, I'll try to end on Monday. Few things are
Yes, sir.
remaining, like summarize function is remaining. That is important actually. And a calculated table, it will be done. Don't worry, it's easy. It's easy. Now actually you're introduced variables, so everything will become so easy. Don't worry. Okay, so I'll try to finish on Monday. Okay, thank you everyone. Have a nice weekend. Thank you.
Sir.
Thank you everyone. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Praveen.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.